I'm not sure where your stripes lie these days, whether you're still a South Canterbury man or whether you're Marlborough through and through these days, but
never.
the challenge is pretty special for this group of players, isn't it?
Always South Canterbury, but that's where it's always been, yeah. Because the club cricket in South Canterbury is particularly weak at the moment. So for them to get a challenge is great. When I first played in South Canterbury, it was still John Wood, Bruce Taylor using a two-piece ball. It was just unbelievable. There's a couple of really good individuals, but not enough to make a strong team. And Taylor was never involved with Hawke Cup cricket because he'd just come back and play every now and again and make our life a general misery. As a teacher, I shifted back to Temuka to run a phys ed department there, with the knowledge that I was probably going to make it very hard for myself to get back into Canterbury teams because I wasn't on show all the time. Immediately that challenge in 76, I got there just before they went down for that challenge, and that was there was an interesting game of cricket. We had, at risk of upsetting one of my very best friends, Murray Parker was captain, and Murray, being a batsman, just forgot that he had a spin bowler on the side. I didn't bowl. Yeah, never bowled, and then we lost that quite heavily that game. But it was a bit of a learning curve. That was my first Hawke Cup challenge in 76, so it was a thrill to be part of that. Yeah, Jumbo got runs in that game, yep. He did. And I won't say anymore. He was very out. Twice I've played against Jumbo, and he's been very out. Southland. Then we might have gone to Wairarapa.
That's correct.
Right.
So that was a strong Wairarapa team, as we discussed a little earlier, and Dermot Payton, Ian Snook, who you mentioned, Mike Shrimpton, Rob Wiley, Doug Crombie, two Bracewells in there as well. It's a very strong Wairarapa team at that stage, and you did get a bowl this time.
That was an interesting game. Yeah, I'll share that with you. David Bishop was captain. We had to go into bat late on the first, might have even been the second day. Just trying to think about that. Shrimpton bowled medium pace, offies and leggies in that game, which was interesting. It was getting close to stumps, sort of like 10 overs or so away, and we lost a wicket, and Dave Bishop, who was the rugby ref, it's the same David Bishop, he couldn't bat. He's just a nervous wreck. He's absolutely, he's fucked. So I said to him, look, mate, you're no bloody good. Forget about it. If we lose a wicket, I'll go. And from memory, I got 40-odd.
39 not out. You carried your bat through.
Yeah, and that was really, really disappointing because we just collapsed like a deck of cards. We were absolutely awful, and I just remember standing at the other end watching wickets fall. And I think of that 39, a lot of those came right at the end because I had a crack at Shrimpton because we were running out. I was running out of partners, so I had a bit of a hit with me. And he called me, his words were, fucking Frenchman. I didn't know they could play cricket because we'd never met, and my name was on the board. And so every time I had a lot to do with Mike working with New Zealand cricket and that, and every time I sort of rang him up, it was always, "Hi Mike, there's a fucking Frenchman here." so we had a good rapport. That was that was a very disappointing game because that guy McFadgen in there, Ian McFadgen, he's a lovely man. He was the policeman who was first respondent at the Aramoana massacre. And he's a very, very good mate. In fact, I'll see him the next couple of days. He bowled really, really well in that game for, I think I caught Elliot at slip for him. He deserved a lot better. He bowled really, really well. It was, I knew it was going to something. Yeah, on the Thursday, before we flew out, we had a practice, and I rolled my ankle. So I was booked on the plane, but I couldn't play because I rolled my ankle really badly, and I was limping. But they put me on the plane, and we're at the ground in the morning of the game. Fortunately, before we'd named the team, and a guy came out and said, "I can see you're limping really badly. You know, what's your problem?" I said, "Oh, I've just rolled my bloody ankle." And he said, "Look, I've been over in the States doing sports taping for American football teams." He said, "Would you like to have a look at it for you?" And I said, "Be my guest." Well, he knew exactly what he's doing. He strapped my ankle to a point, he'd pull the toe up and tell me when this hurts. Yep, and he'd tape it there then. Moves it every which way. And I was actually able to take part in the game. Able to bowl a bit, and that was it. So it was a bit lucky, really. But that was a good game, but South Canterbury were never really in it. We're shut out pretty much. They didn't have a lot of heart. It wasn't a team with, it wasn't a real fighting force, But then we got some really good teams together. We became strong. Our club cricket became strong. We were winning, we were beating Mid Canterbury, North Canterbury, etc. We were good. And we probably deserved more challenges. So now we go to the first challenge against Nelson was rained off. It was called the Cyclone Hawke Cup. And the game was called off the end of the first day, I think. Is that right?
So
we got that there?
First day, Nelson made 204, which... that Nelson team, that's a pretty good effort to roll them for that. You would have felt like you were in with a sniff.
A real good chance.
And then went to stumps 25 for 4, which isn't ideal, but Murray Parker still at the crease, still a very good chance of chasing down 200, and then, those last 2 days both rained off.
Well, that one there, there's a real story to that. When we went out to bat, this rain that came was threatening. It was as black as black as black. And you couldn't see. And Gill, who's very short, slinger, quite swift, you just could not pick him up. It was like, where the hell is it, And we peeled against the light. They wouldn't uphold it. They should have upheld it. And I nicked the ball to Roger Pearce, who was at second slip. And it hit him in the throat. The ball just, then we went off for bad light. Because it was, no one could see. I mean, it really was that bad. So then it just rained, and that was the end of it, which was really disappointing because, we thought we had a good chance, but we had no chance under the conditions batting. I mean, it was just diabolically bad.
So the next challenge was Northland.
Right. Now, Northland was disappointing because, in in so many ways. We had, I knew we were in at the shot. I liked the team. I was captain. They batted first.
They batted first and made 372.
Yeah, but what were they 8 down for, or 7 down for?
129 for 7, and then pretty handy guy to be having coming out at number 9. Pretty young at that stage, but very handy cricketer to have at number 9.
That was his first game. And had Dunning at the other end. And Dunning, they both got hundreds. This should never have happened, but we had the ideal man in John Varco, who was a leg spinner, bowling to, and quite loopy, bowling to Brian Dunning. And I kept saying to him, now, I need you to bowl at Dunning. He's an old man, just keep throwing the ball up, keep dragging him forward. He'll get tired, he'll oblige, we'll shut him down. He says, I can't bowl to left-handers. And I said, you'll be absolutely fine. Bugger me, after 2, maybe 3 good overs at him, challenged him really well. Dunning had put it over the mid-wicket boundary, just over the fielder's head, 6 runs. And at the end of the over, Varco threw the ball back to me and said, I told you I can't bowl to left-handers. And that was it. So he lost the plot. And the team was like, what? Start of the second day, when they were, Dunning and Young were not established, Harvey came in, and it was a good wicket. And he bowled an absolute scorcher. Did Young just nip, went flying through first slip, and Barry Andrews, I think he got out of the way of it. It came real quick, but Andrews is a cocky little shit. And after the ball came back, he went down and told Harvey King off, instead of sort of going in apologies, he told him off for bowling too quick. It was, but I mean, it should have been taken. The game was there we should have had them out for probably 140. And then we had this mammoth total. And I tell you, I was gutted. That was really good Hawke Cup cricket, because the camaraderie, Kunis is a bloody hard shot. They flogged my boots, and they hit my boots up on the roof of the pavilion. And, I mean, we had a lot of fun in amongst, the serious cricket. It was really good game. And they were, I would say, it'd be probably the first team they knew that they had escaped, and they were really good about it. But unfortunately, we didn't kick on again. The bottom of the order sort of didn't score we had a start. We could have, particularly with, because Hawkeye batted well, we got partnerships, we were underway, and it just didn't finish off. So then we go to Nelson, and that was a setup. We were the last challenge of the season, and we played on the wicket. They played the first challenge on it, and I think Nelson got nearly 600 runs, and it'll be on record, but they in that same year, they got a massive total. And the wicket they put us on the same wicket, which had been re-prepared. It bounced about half knee high, no matter where you pitched it. It was, just a skidder sort of track. And fortunately, we batted first, and through long graft, we've taken a lot of overs. We had a competitive total, 306, 305?
306 off 160.5 overs.
Yeah, so, and that's what I'm saying. It was very, very hard graft. The ball it just didn't bounce. And so then we had to bowl on it. But we'd batted a full 100-odd overs. What had happened was around the creases where Visser had been bowling in this game and in the previous one, the repairs they'd done with clay, there was no grass to bind it, and it ended up just being the wicket was a massive corrugations outside the right-handers off stump. And Barry Andrews, who was an occasional off-spinner, a bit like Phillips, he had the ball, was turn and hit you in the ankle, and the next one, go off the wrong ridge, would go across here. I think he got 5 wickets, or
6.
4 wickets?
6. 6 for 93.
6. Yeah. For 93. Yeah.
Yep.
How many overs did we bowl?
Bowled 108. He bowled 48 of them and you bowled 33. You opened the bowling.
Yeah. Because that's the way the wicket was. So we gave ourselves a chance, and then, damn it, Peter Visser, who was batting with him?
It was Walton and Visser.
Walton and Visser, was it? Yeah. So, and we couldn't get them out. They just kicked us to death. Because Visser can't bat. Well, he couldn't bat. Fortunately, we strung it out. This is the third day. We strung it out to lunchtime, and we were rooted. And Harvey came in and he nicked Visser out, I think, the first ball after lunch. Yeah, they batted the whole session. Yeah, so they nicked him out 1 run short. And that was, we're absolutely thrilled about it. Good team. And we batted really, really well for our runs, and they were just so hard fought. They really, really were. Then we had to bat again, knowing, so we 1 ball less, 1 ball gone in the session. And we knew bloody well that we were really, really up against it. And what Barry Andrews did, they had Walton at one end doing the same thing. The ball was going every which way, just off these ridges. And was it Saunders or Murdoch or somebody?
Saunders.
Yeah, well, he's a little guy, and he bowled on the stumps over after over with no bounce. I mean, it was just, you just you couldn't score off them, so it was always going to be, they're just going to go and go and go at us. How many wickets did Walton get?
7 for 45.
Yeah. Exactly the same thing. And he was a good off-spinner, not like Andrews, who was a part-timer. He tied us in knots, but it was because of the wicket. And boy, so then I can't remember. What were they chasing? 90 or 100 or something to 1?
They're chasing 110 off about 25-ish overs.
Yeah. Well, under those conditions, you'd have thought maybe we can shut this down. But Jock Edwards came out to bat, and he took off stump, and he batted sideways. So, instead of there facing the bowling, he stood like that. And he played a very similar innings to what the big show plays when he got cramp. Same thing. And just the ball, and he just played, because you couldn't actually play cricket on the wicket, and that's what really hurt us. We were broken hearted, and of course when we get back to South Canterbury, we struck some pretty harsh criticism for losing that, and yet I felt as a captain we had tried so hard, and that first innings was a bloody good total to knock them over, a power-packed team, and they were expecting, and everyone was embarrassed by the wicket. It was shocking. I've never experienced a wicket. It was done that. Can you imagine? It was like a sheet of corrugated iron, so you had balls depending where it landed, either shooting it on the ground or, So what did you do? If a right-hand batsman, normally a left-hand spinner, was going to trouble a right-hand batsman, but you're bowling wicket to wicket, which hasn't been damaged, but you've got your off-spinner who's bowling quite flat, 2 foot outside off stump, and no one's got any idea where the ball's going to go. So it was that was really, really, that was sad because we were a good side. We deserved to win on the first innings, and we really deserved to play it out, but it wasn't to be. That was a gutsy team. I mean, you had Mike. You still had Matthews, bugger. Andrews, Williams, Davies. I mean, that was a good side, a good batting side. And they all, gave heaps. Yeah.
When you say about that kind of change in team cohesion and I guess a good group of players working together and fighting hard, what do you think was the catalyst for that change? Was there any particular reason that it changed from that team of the 70s being struggling on that front to the team of the 80s doing a lot better, or was it just luck and chance?
Our club cricket became very, very strong. Temuka came into the senior competition. I'd played for Geraldine. I went back and played for Temuka. And old boys were traditional, strong. There were 3 clubs who were very, very strong and very pro each other, like we were at each other. It was great. It was like sparring partners in club cricket. It was really, really good. Harvey King, total respect for Harvey. He'd been through a hell of a lot, and he just never gave up. He'd be the biggest-hearted bowler who I've had the pleasure to play with and captain. He only has one eye. He had a South Island rugby trial, big man. He was a stock agent and got hit by a rock and is thrown up by a truck, went through his windscreen, hit him on the jaw, broke his jaw, put the broken bone of his jaw, went into his eye, blinded him. And he was a lovely, traditional, closed-action, fast bowler, right-handed. But once he lost that eye, he couldn't bowl there. He had to bowl there. And so he became a really good, in-duck or straight and move it off the seam sort of bowler. But so you got him, he had massive, massive heart, You got Murray, who we all wanted to do well for, because, he's a very, very good cricketer, and we always felt that if he could get a start, we were going to get we'd do it right. John Davies was a very good player. Barry Andrews was, he was a gutsy little bugger. And was Barry Ward keeping them?
Yes.
Yeah, and Barry was just young. He'd just come in, so we had a lot of, Yeah, that's the difference I say about Hart. We had balance in our bowling. It was a good balanced team. We didn't have a left arm quick then, but no, they were all. And yeah, John Davies, he was a good bat. He didn't give anything away. It was a good side. They really, I mean, they were a team of cricketers that I would have said were worthy of winning, Hawke Cup. They were good enough.